Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm just going to do a quick narration of my wash. You guys let me know if this is something you're interested in seeing. I was getting ready for hitting the local racetrack. Here in my area, we're in Montreal, so the main ones are going to be either going to Napierville or iCar. And I chose to go to iCar because of the time attack, which I find is very fun. Unfortunately, I don't have any footage, and apparently they changed the rules. You need to bring a helmet, so that was a bit unfortunate. But yeah, so this is my car, 1990 Toyota Supra MK3. I have the 7M GTE engine, 3-liter. It's a 3-liter motor. It's the one that came out before the JZ. For anyone that's not familiar. I do quite like this engine. I know the JZ is a great engine, and you can make a lot of power, but you can make a lot of power with this one. And while it doesn't have the best track record for reliability, I think you can definitely make it reliable and a great engine. So you'll see in a couple shots the paint's actually pretty bad on this car. It's a 30-year-old car, and while I would like to get a professional detail, what's been really holding me back is the car really needs a paint job. It doesn't look too bad in the video, and it's pretty acceptable for a car of this era, but yeah, it definitely needs a paint job. And you'll notice a couple spots with a bit of rust that I haven't addressed yet, so that's kind of one of the reasons why I haven't gotten brought it to get it professionally detailed. I've done a quick buff with my rotary polisher, and it does the job, but it's just not body's never been a thing for me. So here I'm washing in the sun, which is the worst thing you could do. I kind of had no choice in this case, but I got it done anyways. Make sure to work quick if you ever do wash your car in the sun. Here you can see the wheel arch, a little bit more of what I was talking about, the rust. On the other side, I did do the repair myself, and came out pretty good, but it seems to be coming back to rust, so clearly I didn't do a good enough job, but it looks a lot better than this side here, the passenger side. You'll also notice the passenger door is a lot darker. That's because I did a respray on it. I painted it myself. It originally was a red door, and the one I had previously was rusted out completely. It was pretty bad. So I repainted that with color matched rattle can spray guns. Color matched rattle can spray can that I pick up at my local auto parts store. Here it's called Napa, and I think it came out pretty well. After I sprayed it, I wet sanded it and polished it. And it's one of the nicer body panels on the whole car, so you know what, I'm pretty happy with it. Now here on this car, a couple of the mods that I've done, I rebuilt the engine, and I did all the oiling mods you need to do. Something you need to really make sure of when it comes to the 7M is going to be oil. Never run out of oil, don't run low. Ask me how I know. I've been through 2 other blocks before this one that I'm currently done with, and 2 other turbos. And that's just because the oiling system really needs to be addressed. So right now what I have is a brand new oil pump that I've also shimmed the oil pump with, I believe it was 8mm shims. And I replaced the tube that goes from the block to the oil pump with one from AZ Performance. There's also one that Drift Motion sells that you can get. It essentially is just going to put a straight tube that doesn't have any kinks in it, so it's not going to restrict any of the oil flow. That's one thing I've done. The other thing was forcing the oil pickup tube with a pry bar and just kind of bringing it closer to the bottom of the oil pan, because it was actually quite a large gap. And something, if you did take a measurement, I believe someone in a forum took a measurement who originally addressed this. I think they said something about 3 inches, maybe 2 inches. Obviously way too much. So I put it pretty close, but not too close, just in case there's any junk in the pan. It won't get sucked up by the oil pickup tube. Here you'll see me, just want to address this, that I'm cleaning the bottom side of the car here. So it's the first time I've ever, in the 6-7 years I've owned this car, that I've ever cleaned this under part, and it was bad. It was caked on dirt, took a lot of scrubbing, but I found it looked pretty good at the end. So a couple mods I've done to this car. I have BC Racing BR coilovers. I didn't set them too low because I almost daily drive this during the summer, so I don't like scraping. I don't want to lose an oil pan. You know, I'm not about that. But I find it is pretty low. Here it's kind of at an incline, so you can't really tell very well. But yeah, I put some track pads on it. EBC yellow pads. Anybody who's interested in getting those, I will tell you right now, they squeal a lot. So when coming to a stop, they will squeak. They kind of stopped right now. They really don't do it as much as they did when I first started driving it this season. But yeah, it's definitely something to take into account, though the braking performance I find is really good. On the 7M motor, what I've done is I have an upgraded turbo. It's still the CT26, but it's been upgraded with a larger billet wheel. It's not the 57 trim or 60-to-1 trim mod. It's wheel comes from a Mitsubishi. I'm having a hard time remembering. It's a Mitsubishi wheel. It makes a lot more power. It is a lot faster. Sounds better too in terms of intake noise, which is great. I have 550cc, 570cc injectors from an RX-7. What else? Obviously, you know, the standard intake. I have a CX Racing intercooler with the fake kind of blow-off valve that they give. I don't remember what brand it is, but it's the one that comes with all the kind of fake kits. Does a job. And I have an adapter for it, an official adapter for the real product, which makes it recirculate. So that's going to be really important for these types of engines. Make sure you have it set to recirculation, or you're going to have stalling problems. I have the Lexus MAF on here, and it works perfectly with the 570cc injectors, no issues. I did drill out the cup on the side where there's the adjustable screw, and I have the screw adjusted all the way into the max. That's just for drivability. It runs better. Car does about between 13 to 15 pounds of boost, and at the drag strip that day, the day of shooting this video, my best time was a 13.5. Now, I have done a 13.2, and I plan to go 13.0, which is the time of the new Toyota Supra. At the drag strip that day, there was a guy with a new Toyota Supra, and I'm sure it had mods on it, but he was running 13.0. So that's kind of my goal. And yeah, so here's the walk around. See the rust there in the arch. The rotors, the hubs of the rotors are rusted too, but on the other side they're not, because I actually painted them with a special heat resistant paint for brakes. And I only did one side because I kind of didn't trust it. I wasn't sure if it was going to hold up, but it's been holding up real well. So yeah, the last thing this car needs is a standalone ECU, and without a doubt it's going to be running 13.0 without even trying. But right now, it runs great.
And my luck, it starts raining. Of course it did. I don't know if you can see the water, but yeah. So the entire time that I was washing the car in the sun for no reason, which I really didn't want to do, the sun goes away and it starts raining.
Alright, if you liked the video, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you'd want to see more, if there's anything else you want to see about my car, you have any questions. And stay tuned for the YouTube series on the 1974 Plymouth Cuda there and back. All right. Bye bye.